My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I give an introduction so that you get the gist, really, of what I'm trying to say and get across, the message get across. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Molson, Alabama, Lawrence County, what amounted to a pigsty in 1941. And my father is King Edward VIII, who was legally wed to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, from America. She was Irish Catholic, and Georgia O'Keefe, the artist, is my aunt. I found out about my kidnapping in late 1983. So now then I want to go, I've got a lot of videos on trying to tell what's been happening. I wrote about mind control murders in 78, and Larry Flint was one of the victims. But the victim is also the one who's doing, well, not who's doing the mind control, the shooters, or the person who is instructed to murder or inflict pain. These people, like the Aurora, Colorado, James Holmes, they're not mentally ill. They are a victim of mind control, and that's one of the worst crimes you can commit, because you're taking away, you talk about civil rights. What bigger civil rights violation than to take away your right to your own beliefs and actions, and most of all, your thoughts and what you do. And that's what's been done, modifying your behavior. And I just hurt my toe on the sphincter here. Excuse me. From clearing my throat and everything. And that's part of what I wanted to get to, but I'll get to that a little later. I wanted to put on here, I watch CBS most of the time because they have the programs I like, Criminal Minds and CSI Vegas and, well, The Price is Right, and a lot of the programs I watch. So I watch the news in the morning there, too. And today, of course, they're going, they're Boston strong. You know, if the media is ever forced to tell the truth about what's been done to me personally on a daily basis here in this country, being kidnapped and tortured, I'm 75 years old. It's a long way from 1941. And my sons, Mark and Scott, who are heirs after me, and I'm Victoria II. I'm the legal heir. My own uncle in the New World Order that controls your media are the ones who helped my Uncle George, and JFK's father, Joe Kennedy, was ambassador, kidnapped me. So I give you that background as a frame of reference. Now then, Boston Strong, I haven't said a lot about that, but the two young fellows there, one's dead, one's going to trial, and people hate their guts, and they tout in Boston how they've been hurt, and I'm not saying they weren't hurt, but God, they pretend that this country is a saint when it's the sinner. It's the one that's developing all these crimes and doing the mind control. My God, they kidnapped me. They took this country from King George, and they celebrate the 4th of July. They took down my father then, King Edward VIII. They did. This country's the New World Order itself. All its presidents have been, except maybe Jimmy Carter. God help them if they'd gotten George Wallace. And I'm not talking about racial. I'm talking about George Wallace couldn't be bought. And by the way, the woman that I grew up being told she was my mother, the mother of the twins, Peggy and Carl, she was with him in Laurel, Maryland, when he was shot, to tell you some of the patterns that get into these shootings. Now then, if I've lost you, it's back to the Boston Marathon in last year. It's an anniversary. It's also almost an anniversary of the Virginia Tech, the 33 that were shot there, and it was a South Korean student that shot them, and he did it he was programmed, and the thing that comes to play in all this, if it's ever told, is the fact that the people involved in the shooting, the synchronicity of bringing those certain people into play when he shot them is unbelievable. It should scare the hell out. Excuse me. It should scare. Wouldn't want me to say a bad word here after all that's been done to me and being done. Anyway, it should scare you. There's been a number of killings over there. So the law enforcement all knows this. They know the agency that's doing it. And at this point, I'm going to say I've lived a hell of a life. I've been tortured every day of my life in ways, not just antifreeze put in me April the 1st of 80 after I'd done a medical malpractice book on mind control and murders. But I got a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of 79, which, okay, I'm telling you there. The Wayne Williams murders of black children in Atlanta. There was a book called The List. This is while I'm getting antifreeze and have done the book and all this. And the Atlanta Journal, who do you think typed my book? I paid her to type it, and I called her and retype it because I'd typed it and trying to make a living and type it and get it published, thinking, because so much was being done, I didn't know about my kidnapping. I thought it was the book. Well, she worked for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. I called up to the number she gave me to see how the typing was going on, and they answered, and I got her, and she was typing my book then. This is a long time ago. You've got the Alabama Bureau of Investigation. You've got a whole mess here if it's ever told, and I don't know if I'm going to live to tell it. But I want to go to the two young fellows there. The United States is gung-ho over slaughtering Putin. The United States was the one, and the CIA just released a letter that said they were involved in what was going on, overthrowing the government in Russia back in 1919. I think that was the date they said, or 1917, excuse me. That's when Tsar Nicholas and his family were slaughtered, and they're my relatives. They're the same kin to me they are to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, by the way, is an illegal monarch. She's using my money, and she's given away Great Britain, her and her father, George, the illegal six. Now then, before this tape goes off, how dare the United States tell Russia and Putin what to do, that they're annexing back what belonged to them anyway. It's like telling me, should I ever be able to go home? And somehow, you can't undo what's been done to me in my life, and my fathers and mothers and the British who had to fight for the Americans, against themselves, really. I can't ever repay them for helping and staying there, the British and Germans and some Americans. But to go over and accuse Putin, and while this country is sitting on, why don't they tell me? They're Boston strong, they're this and that. Show how they're beating up a lady, a monarch, and what they've done to me, and see how the world looks at that and compares. Now then, I don't know if I've got much left on here. No, it's fixing to go off, I think. I'm pretty sure it's going off, so I won't get this last part in. Well, it is going off, so I won't get the last part in. I was going to so I'm going to put this on the next tape. I wanted to get in what's being done to me. Still, it's ongoing, and I'm going to put it on the next tape here.